Almost all citizens in the Western society today take freedom for granted. People believe that because of the structure of our country, lack of freedom will never be an issue. This sense of calm and safety was similar to the Afghan women previous to the Taliban's control and before the country's government was overthrown. Hi, my name is Mariyam Siddiqui, and I would like to share with you a recent article that I read on The Guardian called Evidence Contradicts Taliban's Claim to Respect Women's Rights by Emma Graham Harrison in Kabul and Akhtar Mohammed Mukai. The article focuses on women's rights getting taken away in Afghanistan and how many women are beaten only for demanding for their rights. The current government of Afghanistan, which are the Taliban were formed on the belief that women should only be allowed to play the most limited roles in society. Most women have already been advised to stay home by the Taliban, who claim it's a temporary measure for security concerns, but the explanation seems unpromising to Afghan women with memories of the last time the group was in control. The author discusses many feminist and anti-feminist views. Throughout the article, many themes and topics were discussed, mainly patriarchy, gender roles versus feminism and equality, and of course, women's rights. In the article, the author discusses the idea of patriarchy, which is a system of society or government in which men hold the power and women are largely excluded from it. In this type of society, it is doing more harm than good for Afghan women. By keeping certain benefits for men, patriarchy promotes gender inequality against women. This imbalance is the foundation for men and women holding power in unequal ways. Gender roles are also discussed in this article on how certain culture views boys as being masculine and protective and girls as being weak and feminine. In the article, the author describes how gender roles in society refer to how people are expected to act, speak, dress, and behave based on their assigned gender. Girls and women, for example, are expected to dress in traditional feminine styles and be polite, tolerant, and nurturing. This is not a good approach to feminism, as feminism is the concept that women should have full social, economic, and political equality. This reminds me of the story of X by Louise Gold that is studied in this course. We're raising a gender neutral child in a society that categorizes and classifies people and influences the development of children based on their gender and sex, as well as how these gender roles are reinforced in society. The society has a significant impact on how a child's personality develops and how they grow up as a person. The raising of X is a topic of feminist criticism since it appears to violate the society standards and expectations. Feminist criticism is revealed in the story because X has a different background, which means he contradicts society's standards and expectations. The theme of equality is also discussed in this article. It discusses how a lot of women are the main breadwinner for their families and losing their job means destitution. The author talks about how women are protesting for their rights as they would like to see a better future for their families by being parents and workers and providing as there is no one else to do it for them. Anti-feminism is a strong theme in the article as well. The author talks about how the Taliban oppose feminism in modern-day society. The author states, quote, "The Taliban have already asked most women to stay at home, claiming it's a temporary measure for security reasons, but the explanation has an ominous ring to Afghan women whose memories stretch back to the last time the group held power." The article also touches literary theories such as psychological and Marxism theory, which is used in society's use of feminism and anti-feminism. Men have an inherent psychological drive to subjugate women according to the psychology. The oppressive pattern is also embedded in society, resulting in patriarchy's formation and continuation. Marxism is also present in the article where the author discusses the interaction between men, who are seen as the bourgeoisie, and women as the proletariat. The article can be seen through this theory as the proletariat is forced to accept the ideology of the bourgeoisie. This relates to the notion of how women are not equal to men. The Marxism theory is how the bourgeoisie maintain their control by manipulating the government, politics, education, as well as the media. The same themes of masculinity and gender roles were also vividly portrayed in Timothy Finley's story, The Wars. For example, before the war, the male character Robert was perceived as more feminine than men. Robert is also seen as unmasculine for not killing Rowena's rabbits, opening the eyes of those around him to view his femininity. Robert was also the mother figure to Rowena and when displaying guilt about her death and wanting to take action. Overall, this article was very informative. The women the author talks about in the article are very brave for protesting for their rights and equality, considering how the Taliban's psychological mind is and what they did the last time they had control over the government. Thank you.